Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folori, and alongside Onyekachi Ubani and Ken Okolugbo. Onyekachi Ubani, as you remember, is the second national vice president of the NBA. Oga, I salute your republic. And Ken Okolugbo, former commissioner in Delta State, political affairs analyst, and a very proud, active, and vocal member of the PDP.
It's always my pleasure.
Thank you very, very much for coming. Two things on my mind that we might just, kick around this morning by way of conversation. On the one hand, well, the election timetable and the whole discussion on the reordering of it, it looks as if there's a slight, I don't know if it's a difference, it's more a variation than a difference. Now we're looking at not the presidential first, but they've adjusted it, and now let's look at the governors. Maybe the governors should come first, and maybe after that. So we'll look at that on the one hand. And the president over in the UK saying he's not interested in all of this. Well, it's not as if he's not interested, but that's not his focus. Let politicians continue all these things, but my focus, me and my team, were focused on the economy and security. This, of course, was why I was speaking with his British counterpart, Theresa May. Well, so, gentlemen, the two are sort of linked, Let me start off. Let me kick off with Ken, my dear friend Ken. At least the president is keeping his eye on the ball. That much needs to be said. We can go where our heart takes us, but the president has said that it's okay, but my focus really is not, it will fall where it will, but my focus is the economy and security. That's how it should be.
Yeah, but I think if he says his focus should be on the economy and security, then he shouldn't have caused the distraction he did before he left. He should never have indicated that he was going to run for a second term. You see, it's very sensitive. This is right, don't get me wrong, to run for a second term.
Because I was going to wonder.
It's his right.
Everybody wants to know. And he put that issue to rest by saying, by the way, guys, I'm going to go.
The thing about it is that as a commander-in-chief, he should take the pressure. Why should he take the pressure? He's going to start distracting his ministers. He has distracted his ministers. Once he has indicated that he's going to run, his ministers are going to start. Don't forget that every minister comes from a state. That is what the Constitution says. Those ministers that think that they might not have been so political are going to go beyond. And for you to become a minister, the qualification is for you to at least have been able to contest for a House of Representatives seat, meaning that you must be a card-carried member of the political party, which of course is the APC. What am I saying here? Now he says his focus is on the economy and the security. Yes. And he was saying it on a day that we were almost overrun.
When you say now, you make it sound as if
but that is
latest position.
But that is exactly what he's saying. He's saying he's not bothered. He says he's not distracted.
Yeah. Yes. In other words, I've always focused on...
Even if I accept that he's not distracted now, he's still focused on security and economy, which is one of his cardinal principles he came into power with. But he has completely distracted his team.
Let me ask you, if he sees it that way. Would you, laying the matter to rest, the boiling matter about will he run, will he not run, now just saying, okay, guys, enough of the suspense, I will be running. Yes. Now that's over and done with. Let's get on with work. But the way Ken says it, do you agree that it was a distraction?
No, but what Ken is saying is that you are saying you want to concentrate with some of the things you promised Nigerians.
Yes.
But you have also rekindled political process and discussion by your declaration.
So what is this? I just want to ask you, now that I'm with you, what is the man to do? Is it not a legitimate concern that most Nigerians had? That, by the way, will the president run or will he not run?
No, the point is that you can't take that away. It's a constitutional right. And everyone knows that, that the Constitution provides for 8 years tenure for any president.
Which is true.
Which he 100%. Has the right to, to actually take. Now he has indicated interest to run for second tenure. No problem. Yes. Nobody has an issue with that.
But he's saying it's not almost on his mind.
Yeah, what we're putting now is that he now went to London. I said, gentlemen, I'm talking to the Prime Minister of Britain. He said, look, my interest now is not politics. My interest is to serve Nigerians, especially on those promises that I made to them. Beautiful speech, wonderful political statement, and being sensitive, actually, that Nigerians expect him to fulfill all the promises he made, before they voted him in. But I tell you this, what he's saying is different from what the reality is, because back home, the political process has actually started. One of his ministers is already campaigning. If I declared, and on Sunday, you know, that one, the distraction has already started. Almost all of them, some of the ministers already are going to contest for gubernatorialism. So we all know that it is now politics till next year.
Okay.
That not much will be achieved by politicians.
That's
so
exactly
if
what
anyone
I'm
says
saying.
anything to the contrary,
Yes.
it's only been, well, it's trying to be sensitive to our needs and yearnings, and because Nigerians expect them to perform, you know, time is no longer on their side. Next year is 4 years, you know, and then you have to give a scorecard, you know, what you have actually achieved. So to me, it's a very sensitive statement he has made, but the reality on ground doesn't portray, you know, the truth.
Okay.
You know, because political process, the political distractions, and political commitment, you know, for 2019 has actually begun.
Okay, fair enough. But you see, returning to Ken, look, you politicians know that oftentimes you have to multitask. The way you're saying it now, focus, because that's what I'm inferring from what you said. Say, look, where are you focused? Now, rightly, you said that he's focusing on his main promise. You know, well, two of his main promises, the economy and this.
Security.
And security. And he's saying that he's keeping his eye on the ball. But you guys are saying, in fact, Onyekachi said, beautiful political statement. Well, political statement that I'll be running. Yeah, every man to his own.
No, but if you
there's this whole matter about keeping your eye on the ball. While the rest of us might, quote unquote, lose our heads over the impending election, he's saying that it's in the air, but I'm keeping my eye on the sparrow, so to speak. If you want, that you could say that's a political statement of, well, reminding you guys of how I came and what I came about. And I'm saying to you that if, without prejudice to the important election coming on, still got my eyes on the ball. But you are saying that, well, he's saying that, but it can't be. That seems to be what you gentlemen are saying, that it can't be. In other words, you're saying that we're going to lose focus. And I think that's what the president seemed at pains to put across, that we're not letting up focus on either corruption, which is an aspect of security, or the economy, which is also another aspect of this security problem that we have on our hands here. That's just the way I saw it. But if that's the way you see it, we'll see what what viewers at home think about the matter.
But the thing about this is, just like Ubani said, you'll be deceiving yourself if you say that his statement was very apt, looking at the situation and looking at what was happening back home in terms of yesterday was unfortunately a day that Abuja was almost sacked by the Shiite groups. And this brings to focus the fact that if you really want to focus, you should take some things into consideration. I'm sure they didn't see what happened in Abuja yesterday coming. El Zazaki has been one person everybody has been clamoring should be released or put on trial. You don't hold a man indefinitely because you say you're trying to secure certain interest. Those are one of the things that have drawn his government behind in terms of his human rights record. The same thing with Dasuki. It's a bailable offense. He has not committed murder. And so in terms of security, which is one aspect, he had a pass mark in the fight against Boko Haram. That pass mark has since eroded him with the headsmen clashes. With the killings that even happened yesterday, the killing of even 4 policemen apart from the 41 people that died. He leaves a lot, you know, to be desired. And again, Fire Me, like Ubani has said, you know, even though he didn't name him, has declared to run for governorship, and he's still the minister. I mean, it's appalling. How can he still be holding the portfolio of Ministry of Mines and Power? This ministry is Ministry of Mines. You know, this ministry is very key. It's one of the ministries that they're saying that is supposed to be an alternative in terms of looking at Nigeria beyond oil. And he's declaring full run for the governorship of Ekiti State, and you're still allowing him sit down there in your cabinet? Why? He should be shown the way out if he's not resigning. What am I saying? You need ministers who are taking charge of 36 states to be very focused to deliver on the deliverables. Those of us that are criticizing the government of Buhari are keying in on their lapses, on their negatives, and are using it against them. And so you don't give us more room, more missiles to use against you. You must sit down with your team. What I think this president, I believe he means well for the country in overall, but he lacks a think tank they can actually sit down and look him in the eyes and tell him that, look, Mr. President, you're going wrong here.
Okay.
That's exactly what I believe is a problem. So if he really wants to focus, he could have waited like Jonathan waited. Jonathan declared in November. I was one of those that worked for the Presidential Campaign Council for Goodluck Jonathan. I remember the pressure we had to fight the issue of zoning. We went everywhere fighting zoning so that we can allow Jonathan contest, since it was seen as a Yar'Adua's ticket. But he did not even cave in. He waited until November before he said he was going to recontest. Why was the hurry for Buhari? One, Buhari has a first of right of refusal for the APC ticket. Nobody's going to challenge him on that. So he's not going to run a primary election. So why was he in a hurry to say he was going to recontest? Why did he allow them railroad him into saying he was going to recontest? Okay. I think it was too soon. Okay. Even though it's his right.
Okay, even though it's his right,
yes.
You thought it was too soon, and you've contrasted it, for example, with how former President Jonathan, went about the same issue. Different strokes for different folks. What, Onyekachi, do you think might be the fallout, since you also have said that it's possible to read this in a sort of distraction way? What would you be the fallout in a worst case scenario, for instance? Because it seems to me you're saying that the people will be so preoccupied, that is when I say the people, his cabinet members, his team, will be so preoccupied with that somehow they'll take their eye off the ball. I mean, is that what you're seeing?
No, you see, I want to say something with regards to Fayemi's political ambition. No, the Constitution has given a timeline. If you're a minister within which to resign, he's still within the timeline. He has not breached any constitutional provision. I think it's either 30 days or 60, but the election, the election is taking place in July, and we're now in April. So he still has, more than other 2 or 3 months within which to resign. So he has not breached any constitutional provision. I want to make that clear.
But the point he's making is that
Ubani, I'm not saying he has breached. He has not been distracted.
He's already
because we're trying to
explore
the distraction charge.
He's distracted
already. We're trying to explore distraction charge.
His own election is coming. I mean, their own gubernatorial election is coming up in July. So this is the right time to start a campaign. No, but let me say this. When I said that the president is already distracted, from last year, some of us who understand the Nigerian political process and knowing fully well what is in it and what these guys gain in it, have already branded 2018 as political year.
Yes, naturally. Of course.
I will be deceiving myself.
No, it's out there.
If I now say that, the president, hastily declared and all that. No, because we know that 2018, even the budget that is before the National Assembly is election budget. So forget it. That's the reality on ground, sir. I didn't say, I was not taken aback when he declared, because somebody has even threatened to go to court. A governor was threatening the president, look, if you fail to declare, that I am going to, I don't know which court will hear him, that I am going to court to ensure that you declare. So already, the pressures were there. And a lot of speculations, and all that. So what the president did was to beat everyone to the game and say, look, shut up your mouth, I am running.
Yes.
Because even some people were making, even like somebody like Bukola Saraki was also jarring up, But he said, if the president is going to run, I will not run. And a lot of them are also making their promises predicated on the availability of the president running. So since the president knows that almost everyone is looking to his direction.
So that was going to be a distraction. So you had to kill that distraction right there.
So he has killed that distraction for himself, not for political processes.
Or the polity.
Yes, because not in the polity. Because the polity is already heated up. Now, with announcing his entry into the entirety now, everything now is here. A lot of Buhari, Shibajo groups are all forming, all gearing up now. If I tell you, they're crossing the T's and this in order to come up now with their packages and all that, to convince them that they will be the one to deliver them once again. So, as I'm speaking to you, anyone who tells you anything to the contrary is just like, but as I said earlier, the statement he made in England, a very sound political statement. Okay. But the reality on ground is
what it is.
The thing is on.
Now,
the thing has started.
I hear you, and I'm really enjoying this. But look, what will annoy Ken and anybody of Ken's leading is that the statement from the other, from one point of view is that, wait a minute, there's no other candidate anyway. There's no other candidate that Nigerians are going to take seriously in this dispensation. He is the only one. There, I said it. Yes, I said it, Ken.
I'm sure you're just trying to stand honestly.
I said it. There's no other candidate anyway.
It's impossible
So
for
the
you
man
to.
now says, let's not be hypocritical about this. I'm going to run.
Let's
look at any pretender.
Okay, let's look at Buhari when he was in the opposition. I will agree with you. He has this cult followership. This cult followership was such that
followership.
Yes, in the north, in every election that was held, in 2003 when he first ran, in 2007, 2011, he always won the northern votes, even against Yaradua. He always won the northern votes. It was the southern votes that were always a challenge, and that was where the Tinubu factor came in, bringing in the ACN on board. He was able to harness the votes now that he either didn't always get from the southwest. And just a few percentage from the south-south, and an infinitesimal percentage from the southeast.
I protest. It's not interesting. I protest.
Okay, with Okorocha's, I might not say it's infinitesimal.
It is not. With the Ubani's vote of this world.
That you mentioned, Governor Okorocha, he said he's coming after Buhari, but that's a different. That's a side talk.
But what I'm saying now is that Buhari came on the plateau of change, and it's one of the change mantra was such that he wanted security, he wanted economy, and he wanted the fight on corruption.
Yes,
which we must all accept was one thing that was very rampant even in the last administration. I won't deny that fact, even though I'm a member of the People's Democratic Party. But you see, our pain here is that his fight on corruption has been seen to be one that's been one-sided. He has not balanced it, and his security angle have already talked about it. Then in economy, he simply failed us, because he failed us in the sense that he quickly devalued the naira. He was in a hurry to devalue the naira when he saw that the oil prices had crashed. He wanted to make the naira catch up with the exchange rates that he can always use to shore up the deficits that he was already facing. His economic team quickly panicked and at the same time removed fuel subsidy, and so he hit us with two-pronged approaches: devaluation of the naira and the removal of oil subsidy. Then he quickly said that people couldn't deposit foreign currencies in the bank. Then he banned 41 items at the same time. I wonder what kind of economic team will bring all this and expect the economy not to go into recession. But luckily for him, he got out of recession. And after he got out of recession, no one would have thought that this economic thing...
Because as you say all those things which are right,
yes,
in, looking at it from one point of view, it was also part of the ongoing or the sort of evolving plan to fight corruption, because there were so many leakages, so many outlets.
But he was sending a wrong message.
So many
when
outlets.
He did that thing about foreign deposits.
And whereas there has been collateral
he sent a
damage.
wrong signal to the foreign investors. We're talking about foreign direct investments. What he was interested in was how he was going to attract the FDI. He couldn't attract FDIs at that material point in time. Because if I'm going to come and bring my dollar and forex into the country, I cannot even pay it into the same country and try to send it out. What you have just told me is that I shouldn't even come at all. That's exactly what the message is sent across. What am I saying? In all, it is the economic angle we're going to use to defeat Buhari. Even corruption might just be secondary. And so Nigerians right now are very disenchanted. Let's forget the social media. The social media, Buhari would never even get 10% of the votes if you go on social media right now. We're looking at the common man. For example, I'm going to run elections this year. I would admit with what he has said that the election started far beyond even Buhari's declaration, because people like us are already consulting. We're consulting around the awards and consulting around the places for our primary elections, which is still far away, but you can see that you must start, And so what primary thing am I getting? The primary thing I'm getting is a hunger in the land.
Okay, one
People
moment,
are
please.
devastated.
Well, that devastation didn't start today, as you said. No, as you said. I
It's that hunger that we're going to use against the APC
But you've already
government.
admitted that as a member of the PDP, even though that you are not about to deny that things were really messed up in the last administration.
Yes.
You said that.
Yes, I said that.
Madam Josephine, good morning.
Uncle Yori, good morning.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Yes, thanks, and good morning to your guest here.
Morning.
Hello?
Hello, thank you for calling in. Morning.
Good morning to your guest.
Morning.
Morning, madam.
I really enjoyed your program. Anytime, every day, I enjoy your program.
I thought you might enjoy today's one, especially the weekend is going.
Very critical, yes.
Yes.
Very, very critical, this topic.
Okay.
You see, the problem I'm having with this president is you don't think before you do some certain things. At least the country, where we are now in this country, if anybody come to you to say you want to run, first of all, you say, please, can we just leave politics for now and attend to the issue on ground?
Yes, but Madam Josephine, Madam Josephine, yes. sorry for interrupting you. I didn't want, you see, there are people who, you know, are a bit pissed when you say things like you don't think before, you know, talking about the president. There must be so many ways you can express yourself, and people think you are taking undue advantage.
Let me use it in this way. You know, before he's saying that his focus is on the economy and the security, you have the opportunity to tell them that this is what, I don't know how to put it, but I'm only saying that you have to think what is on ground before declaring your intention.
Okay.
It's not running away from you.
Okay.
Your intention is not running away from you. What we are having on ground is if the old people die, who will you rule? That is what we are saying. You want to rule over people that they are killing on a daily basis like chicken?
All right.
People are hungry, unemployment everywhere, then they are pressuring you for you to come out. You tell them, hold on.
Okay, Madam Josephine, thank you very much. That's fine. We have registered your disenchantment, quite frankly, with the whole thing.
That supports my theory.
Indeed.
So I must try to assert that that is empirical evidence.
Josephine
empirical evidence of what I was just saying.
Josephine started off by saying, I'm very, very happy about today's program.
Yes.
And I said I thought she might be, you know, because we led with Ken Okolugbo. Let's hear it from the other side. But, so there's a sense in which this is the way it is. And this is the point of view of the opposition, which we are not about to put sweep under the carpet or anything like that. But you see, this doesn't, as you know, the administration itself says, the campaign is such that, I think Lai Mohammed has complained in the past, the Minister of Information, that, look, those advances that are being made, it suits people not to want to talk about those. And those things that are not exactly altogether the way they should be, those are the ones that are being blown up. The end result is that scant credit is given to the efforts of the administration in tackling a problem that began in Ken Okolugbo's time.
That's right.
You know, that these people accentuated and developed, plus including Madam Josephine, and now the man is trying to address it, and the whole thing is well nigh impossible, but the administration says, never say die. We're not going to give up on this.
In addressing this issue, a lot of God's wisdom, you know, is actually required, you know, in actually looking at the present scenario under this present government. And we must begin to have some certain principles agreed upon. Now, did PDP, 16 years of rulership of this country, brought us some level of some rot in the system? Even the PDP themselves agree.
What do you mean some level of rot? They virtually destroyed the country, according to popular opinion.
Whatever, yeah, but what I'm saying...
According to popular opinion.
I want to be nice.
And that was why it was anything but the PDP in the last election.
I need to be nice in the choice of words. That we all know that they brought rot to this nation. They all agree. And even they apologized. PDP apologized. I agree with you. Now, that is the reason why...
Well, we did.
I'm coming. That was the reason why we now voted for change.
Yes.
Because we saw the rot in the system and we felt that, look, we cannot continue this way as a nation. Let's change these people and change the system. And we brought them in. Fine.
That's right.
Now, when we now brought you in, we brought you in because of the fact that the system that was operational failed, and we want you now to change the system.
That's right.
Now, the moment you keep on now blaming the system that was the reason for bringing you in, then we are now saying that we cannot continue that way, sir.
Okay.
You know, now that you have come in and there is a lot of rot, clear the rot.
Yes.
Let us see the foundation you are laying, and then now convince us beyond reasonable doubt that you are clearing the rot. Yes. But the moment you keep on making reference to the past rot,
I hear you.
Then you are now making us look stupid because we know the reason why we brought you in the first place. We brought you to change the rot.
Even as you were bringing them, you probably didn't know the extent of the rot, which they explained when they got in there.
You are playing the devil's advocate.
Of course, I have to explain what they have also said. But before you continue, sir, before you continue, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form stopping you, Peter has been waiting to contribute. I don't know whether pro or con. Good morning, Peter, in Magodo.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Akuyori.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you brought my most favorite guest. The both gentlemen you have on your TV are my favorite.
All right.
Yeah, I want to greet former Commissioner Kane.
Hey.
I really want to commend his integrity, his fairness. I know he's a PDP member, but he's always condemning PDP when it comes to being wrong. He always condemns APC when he always, in this part of the world, we always play politics with bitterness. I'm a member of APC. I must tell you that I'm very, very, very disappointed in this, our government. If you check my picture on Facebook, you will see that I actively participated in every campaign in APC. From Ashwaji to all of them, I was going to all of them, I was doing my best. But today, what I'm seeing, I'm so disappointed. If Buhari cannot think as an elderly man, if not for even for anything, at least he has children. Look at how people are dying every day. It looks as if he's here, it's our block. I think we are children. I think nobody cares about what is happening in the land.
Yeah.
I know PDP messed up, but today I've regretted. If I had known, tested what is going on now, I think I prefer PDP 100 times to call. Let them come. I think they have apologized. And I'm not yearning for PDP to come back. I'm not saying for them. Let them come and arrest me. And I'm saying it tomorrow.
All right,
the
then.
people who have the
Thank you very much for calling in. Really appreciate you, Peter. I interrupted you in Yekachi.
Yes.
I want to return to you.
Thank you, sir. Having agreed that we brought in APC because of the rot of PDP, it is very clear that they were not conversant or knowledgeable about the extent of the rot. They didn't. And from the look of things, from evidence on ground, it is very obvious that they did not contemplate the rot they will meet on ground.
Because nobody knew you could do this to your own country.
Beautiful. Now, having found out that, they now started, but very late, to now begin to rebuild. But in rebuilding, you need structure. You need strategy. You need, system that will make it, for people even to feel it that you have started.
All of which you seem to be suggesting is non-existent.
It's not deep.
Okay.
It's not deep.
Because I was going to be worried about that.
Things are started to happen.
Because you seem to be saying...
Yeah, I'm coming, sir. From the agricultural point of view, if I tell you today that we have made some level of inroad and progress in that regard, I give kudos to this government, this present government, because almost everyone now is going back to farm, and we are eating more of what we are producing locally. It's going to take some time for these things to begin to manifest. I agree with you. Now, even the issue of the light, for the past 2 months in my house, I don't know whether if I say it openly now, when I get back to my house and office now, they stop giving me light, because that is what happens with PSCN. The moment you come and press them openly, the next thing that they start punishing you. But for 2 months now in my house, it has never happened since I've been there for over 10 years. I'm having constant light.
I got to go to a break now, but this is part of what we're saying, and we'll continue when we come back. That the administration has said that those achievements that are being made, they are being massively underreported, just so that the other people, are now saying all these other populist things.
I will round it up and tell you where they have aired and all that.
So stay with us, please. We'll be right back, and we expect your calls too. Okay, welcome back. Two gentlemen in the studio, Onyekachi Ubani and Ken Okolugbo. Interestingly, both of them seeing it from opposite sides of the fence, but in the, there's plenty of stuff in the middle there. Now, I
haven't concluded.
But you see, because we're looking at the time, I just wanted to hear another voice, and then I'm going to come back to you if that's okay with you.
All right.
Look, the economy, by all reports, was decimated. It was messed up. There's no, as Ubani has said, absolutely no way perhaps an outsider could have known the extent. But it's being fixed, but it's not going to be an overnight affair. People think that people are really, really angry. Most people are really, really angry because the leakages have been plugged. And that is a problem. That is a problem to them because there's no free money anymore. And I think it's a primary matter that very few people can deny.
But if we say the leakages have been plugged,
Are being plugged.
Yes.
Let it be a continuous tense thing.
Are being plugged.
Yes.
I will accept that. Because one of the things that this government has brought is the TSA, which was our own idea, but we were not able to implement it. But when you also look at the fact that Okonjo-Iweala managed this economy on $74 as benchmark and ended up at $54 at benchmark. The excess crude, which is what everybody keeps talking about, were being shared to the states because they did not want the sovereign wealth funds to succeed. Most of the governors, as at that time, wanted the money to be shared for them to use for most of the projects. A lot of the governors, quite all right, did a lot of the roads that were supposed to be federal roads and needed to be refunded. But if you said the wrath, of course we said there was wrath, but to what extent? The economy didn't crash. What this government was not able to do was that they were not able to manage the shock. By the time they saw that it had come to $33 per barrel, and they were predicating the budget on about $30 per barrel, they couldn't take the shock. Why was it that I said all the things I said? It wasn't because there were no funds that they could fall back on. It wasn't because equipment had not been bought to fight Boko Haram. It wasn't because that they said the $2.1 billion that Dasuki alleged was filtered away was it part of the budget? That was security votes.
Okay, so
was it part of the budget? Was it budgeted for? We can go to the budget to see if
not
funds
there.
Were in the budget.
What you seem to be saying that because it was not in the budget, it was stealable.
Not in the budget.
Don't forget that President Jonathan said corruption is not stealing, or stealing is not corruption.
Those were monies that they were allegedly. Let me use the word allegedly. Frittered away.
Yes,
but it did not shake the system to the extent to which they are trying to say it.
Okay. That's
exactly what I'm saying. That it is the management. The team they had was not able to manage the shock of the fall in the price of crude oil, which is where we predicate our economy on. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that those funds were rightly frittered away and I would justify it. But they were not funds that came in from the federal budget. Yes. They were security funds. And that's one of the things we must kick against in the new administration that will come in 2019.
They were security funds.
Those security funds has to be accounted for.
Okay.
A lot of these security funds that are not accounted for are always used in other.
It's a very interesting. It's an interesting perspective you put out, and I'm not going to elongate it because Emmanuel in OTUKPO is waiting for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Good morning, Ubani.
Morning.
Ubani. Good morning, Ben.
Morning.
Good morning.
Please, this is my contribution. Thank you very much for this program. Chief Ken.
Yes, sir.
You are a very energetic man in opposition.
Thank you, sir.
I want you to see some of the good things the current government has done. They've done a lot. And I want to also tell you that PDP have been playing the spoilers role. Even in the National Assembly, we see how they've cornered the APC members to become opposition in the pockets of PDP. But all the same, this government has done excellently well. And we are praying that Nigerians should be watchful. It's not a question of coming forward to say we apologize. We want to take power. Take power to do what with power. PDP was in power for 15 years and they messed up this country. Look at our roads. No water, no light. It's very unfortunate. And I don't expect you as a young man that you are, Mr. Ken, to come on board and just be opposing because you want PDP to be back in power. To come and finish the bad job they've been doing. No, God forbid.
We have apologized.
I want to assure you too that by 2019, APC will come back and they will conclude the work that they are doing, the good job that they are doing. Buhari will come back. Nothing will stop him. God is on the throne.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for calling in. Appreciate your call. Okay.
That was a wonderful contribution.
I don't know about wonderful. It was his contribution.
No, but because he looked at it objectively. Yeah. And, that is what we are saying. We shouldn't play politics of bitterness. But sometimes he must accept some good sides of this regime. It's not, I don't know.
Among the things you've said is that...
I said TSA was good.
Apart from that, you said we apologized. Speaking about PDP.
And we apologize.
Sorry. And everybody is still considering that.
But is it a crime to say you are sorry?
No, not at all.
But the Senate, I think, has told us that it's a crime by suspending Omar because he apologized and he didn't take his apology.
No, and he went to court.
Okay.
And he went to court.
Okay, he went to court. Okay,
that was bad.
He shouldn't have
apologized, so why are you going to court?
Yeah, correct.
Exactly.
So they now felt that But even though we are against that issue of non-representation for certain constituency as a result of punishment of an erring, in quote, erring member is not helpful in democracy. You know, you don't allow him to be there to represent his people. So let me conclude. You know, as I said earlier, I have said there are so many other things that this government has actually done that if you are very fair and objective, you know that it may not begin to materialize, you know, immediately.
Exactly the
but
point
that
opposition is seizing upon.
Yeah, so and then the economic situation is critical. You know, economy, you know, everything revolves around the economy. The moment you come in and you become panicky, and that was the panicky measures they used actually put us into recession and all that. And then getting back, you know, out of recession, you know, getting out of it, and then now trying to rebuild the economy, get the issue of unemployment sorted out, get the issue of inflation sorted out, you know, so many issues. So people are not feeling it yet.
Okay.
And as long as people are not feeling it yet,
they will cry.
They'll be angry and all that.
Yes.
So that is what is going on.
And that's the hunger you refer to. I think somebody referred to hunger in the land.
I don't envy them.
Yes.
Then coupled with the issue of security, the harassment, the killings, they are becoming to, you know, and the government has not been very decisive. There are so many issues.
It's a volatile mix.
Even the issue of board appointment. There are so many, you know, you took over a government. You allow the opposition to still remain, to man virtually all your strategic, you know, agencies. That was a wrong step. And the government has not corrected up to now.
And Ken is not complaining. You know, and Ken is not complaining about that. Exactly.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
Super. Good morning, Super. Super.
Hello.
Good morning, Super.
Uncle Yari, good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
And my able gentleman in the house, I want to appreciate you for the good job you are doing.
Thank you. Good morning.
Uncle Yari, you know, I can understand that the PDP, maybe they messed up one way or the other, but they always accept. If you ask PDP man, I will say that, oh, we are sorry, we have apologized. But if you bring in an APC guy over there, he will never accept any fault from this government. Is it the security? Is it the welfare of the people? Go around the whole neighborhood of your area and ask the poorest man or the common man how they are faring. They will tell you that this is worse. You know, the last time I called, I said I'm a staunch follower of the president, the current president, in the APC. But what are we saying today? The militaries are complaining, but they can't say it. The police, the worst, but they cannot say it. What are they saying today is a total disaster. I'm sorry to use that language.
No. It's okay.
But sometimes
even as you say, you're a member of the ruling party.
Yeah, yes, I nearly got lynched when I was campaigning for the president's administration. The opposition guy wants to, but what are we seeing today? Everybody, the soldiers are complaining, but they can't say it out. The police people are complaining, they can. This is what I witness on daily basis. Okay. I interact with people, military, police, civilians, everybody, complaining bitterly. But let them, we say, we save money. Okay, I keep asking people one simple question. We save money, we have maybe a $40 billion or $60 billion. But if our Naira is 168, the way they met it, how much will we have in reserve today?
Okay, thank you very much for calling in, Super. Appreciate your call. Interesting with the way Super started out that, look, PDP, you know, they messed up the country, but they've apologized, you know. He then contrasted that, but he's yet to meet any APC man that will admit or apologize for anything.
Even the PDP members are
There's nothing to apologize for. Wait a minute.
Consider. Let me land. The APC members who are PDP.
Let me land so that you can take it off. There's nothing to apologize for.
Why would you say that? There's so much to apologize for, Yori. I will give you 25.
Now, PDP has been at it for 16 years.
Yes.
You admit that they virtually bankrupted the country. So there's a need to apologize. These people are just coming to their fourth term, just less than 25%. You are looking for an apology when they're still trying to undo the problems that they met.
In undoing the problems, have they apologized about Babachi Lawal that frittered away funds right under a president that was fighting corruption? Have they apologized about reinstating Maina or the chief legal officer of this country meeting with a fugitive outside Nigeria? Have they apologized? Can I go on and on? I'm not going to bore you on this program.
I was going to react to you, but I can't because Justino has called in from ASABA. Good morning, Justino. Did I get that right, Justino? Justino or Justina? I don't know, I'm sure. Justino, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Uncle Yuri. Justino.
Please go ahead.
Good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I've been an ardent follower of your program. Yeah, I want to make a contribution. Yes, about the state of the nation. About the state of the nation, I want to make my personal contribution.
He's listening to himself.
He's listening to himself. That's the problem.
Justino,
you should switch. You should.
I don't know. You know, there's a satellite. Oh, sorry, Justino, we lost you. There's a satellite delay. The result of which is that you will be hearing yourself. Please don't bother to listen to yourself. Just know that you are the person speaking. You are the author anyhow. So just carry on. Don't listen to yourself. And I think that's why we were getting this staccato kind of contribution. So Justino, who called in from ASABA, just in case you can get in again, ignore the feedback, which will be you hearing yourself seconds after you have finished saying what you have said.
Yes, I was talking about apologies.
Yes, and I was saying
there's
that...
so much to apologize for. Have you apologized for the killings in BENUE, even after you had been informed by the Chief Security Officer of the state?
Let's not go there, Ken.
Look, let's talk about apologies. There's so much to apologize for.
Because if
you go that route,
this program will not even be enough to contain all the apologies necessary from the previous regime.
What I got from Peter or the last caller was the fact that, look, where you know you have gone wrong, you should accept you're wrong. Yes, it might be very painful, but he said he was a staunch follower of Buhari. The other youth that called in said he's a staunch follower of Buhari, but he's disappointed in Buhari. The other youth that called in said he's APC and he's still disappointed in the fact that he even voted for Buhari. What am I saying here? These are voices of the masses. They say power to the people. It is the people that put Buhari there that are now complaining. So he should go back to the drawing board and ask himself that, why are those people complaining? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Emphasis, English
it's
language.
Not some.
Language.
People are hungry.
Wait a minute.
You're well dressed, you're well paid, you're not hungry, I'm not hungry. Ubani is not hungry. Doesn't mean we are not complaining. People are hungry.
But you know,
85% of Nigerians are hungry.
You know that it is politically mischievous when you say the people that voted Buhari are complaining.
They are complaining. They are bitter.
The fact that, relatively speaking, 7 or 8 people are complaining, relatively speaking.
Wait a minute. That's the people that were able to get into your...
Anyhow, let me bring in Ade Adigun in Abeokuta. Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Go right ahead, please.
Yes, my name is Ade Adigun from Abeokuta. Hello?
Good morning, we're waiting for you. Carry on, please.
Hello?
There's a problem with the lines, but I'll tell you what, just a little tip. As soon as I say hello, please just continue. The lines are playing up. So don't bother. Be sure we have heard you. When you say hello, we say good morning, just roll. Now, look, I don't want us to go where Ken wants to take it because there's far too much that previous administrations have to apologize for. And part of that massive corporate apology that Nigeria itself did was the Buhari regime coming on. They just had to come on as part of fixing the problem. But is everybody happy? No, not everybody's not yet happy. There's a lot more to be done. But it's a bit mischievous when Ken intentionally says that the people that voted Buhari are now complaining. That's far from the truth. There are some that are complaining, and that is to be expected in any democratic setup. Mike in Warri, let's see. Mike, good morning in Warri.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Mike calling from Warri.
Mike, hello? We need to hear what you want to say. Carry on, please.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say good morning to Mr. Ken Okolugbo.
Good morning.
Yeah. I want to state.
I don't know. You see, we want all the people calling us to call us, but you've got to understand how it works. Just go straight to your contribution. That way, even if the phones want to mess up a bit, you would have got something out, but you are still on wanting to say good morning to this and that and all of that, and then announcing the reason you called, which was that I want to add my contribution. Take all of that for granted, guys. Just come on and say, this is what I feel.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Chief Lorry,
Sure.
let's put this argument between you and Ken into context. And it's very important.
Yes, you have joined them.
Yeah, no.
It's not an argument between me and
yes,
this
yes.
conversation we were having. This three-way conversation we're having. You've now sidestepped. Oh, there is God. There is God. Continue.
I say let's put it into context. You know, whether it is the majority that is complaining or the minority. I mean, if you elect me into a position of authority and there is expectations, you know, from you, and then maybe those expectations are not being met, you know. So what you need to find out from me, you know, what are those expectations? Where have I failed you? And then try as much as possible to address and you know, redress, you know. So whether it is majority that is complaining or minority, the point is that there are people who are complaining, having voted for this government. So what the government should actually be very mindful of is, what are they complaining about? And what they're complaining about, is this something that is doable? Can we achieve it? And go ahead and achieve it? That is, to me, it is what is in issue, not whether it is majority or whether, because we are not statisticians, no, but I tell you this, a lot of people are complaining.
Indeed, and Vice President Oshibajo has said in the past that they look forward to constructive criticism.
Beautiful. So when you are complaining, what you need to do now is say, look, how do we address these issues? And that is what we expect this government to do. So the moment you are run away from it, the moment even some of the issues you mishandle, you don't own up and say, I'm sorry, which is what he's also saying. Even within the 3 years, there are issues you have not handled very well. And there is nothing wrong in saying, look, we have not done it well. And
Jude,
with that apology.
Good morning, and thank you for calling in. Jude.
Hello? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, please, people are... TVC should be a neutral. Yeah, TVC should be a neutral network. Morning, sir. TVC should be a neutral network. It's being used as an APC platform. I don't know what happened, why PDP should apologize. Did PDP apologize to the military when the military spoiled the economy? Did they kill? They went their work? Obasanjo went and created EFCC, created other things without looking what the military did. But now everybody in the APC, irrespective of who is, comes to make noise there. People are hungry, people are dying. There's nothing to shout about for the 3 years of wrath. I don't belong to any political party, but that's the first reality. APC has not done it. They've not gotten it. They have to go back. Maybe Nigeria give another chance, but for the 3 years, they've not done anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
But that sums it up.
What is summing it up? What is summing it up?
It sums it up. They've done nothing. I live in Lagos. Let me make an assertion here. I live in Lagos. I'm a member of PDP. Yeah. But if I was to cast my votes in the governorship election, I'll tell you it would be very difficult for me to vote in that election. Why? Because I see what Ambode is doing. When somebody is working, it's not hidden.
Why will it be difficult for you? You vote for the right person.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm talking about if it's party loyalty, I might not be able to vote for him.
You vote for the right person.
But my conscience will take me to Ambode. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I'm not saying this because I don't know him
part that is
as a person,
me.
But he's APC.
I'm hearing
so
you.
we're not trying to look.
I'm hearing you in this one.
The APC federal government has failed.
But brother Jude,
they have failed.
Say what you want.
That's the truth.
Say what you want once you've come on this program. Yes. But brother Jude in IKEJA, saying something about one station should be neutral. I mean,
no. Okay, let me imagine. If there's an objection,
which one is our own inside? Which one is our own inside?
If there's any station that is very objective,
exactly. So where was brother Jude?
TVC, is very objective,
and that we want to hear, and that we want to hear you. We want to hear you, and we want to hear him. And the man is still insinuating.
I'm trying to patronize TVC, but I won't call other stations. But I know of so many of my colleagues prefer TVC in terms of neutrality.
Yeah.
And even when I tried to hold brief for some other stations I appear in, I said, no, you guys are... They said, no. That's shocked that TVC that should have been.
No, the outstanding television house in this country
that's
today is actually TVC and channels, and that is the fight. You guys are trying. You are neutral.
Channels and TVC, and I mean every other one.
Yeah.
No, I like it, TVC and channels.
Okay, sorry. I said,
the TVC and channels. Like, whatever you want to. I'm before you, and I'm in your studio.
Exactly. Channels and TVC, it's the same thing.
Look, it's a contentious subject, but let's not forget that what began this whole conversation is that the president has stated over in the UK that what's going on at home is going on at home, but as a fellow leader of countries, I'm just telling you that my concern as must be your concern. The economy and security. If I can fix that, my people, me and my party.
Correct statement.
And you didn't even go to your second topic, the one for the... You see, this is taking all the time. The issue of the governorship and timetable election.
Because it's part of it. It's part of it. Now, the whole big problem is that people... Oh, I can't go there because Sam in Wari wants to come in. Good morning, Sam.
Something, Uncle Yori, Dr. Kuyori, good morning.
I can't take the sun away from Sam.
Go ahead.
Samson, go ahead.
Yes, sir. You see, what my brother, Okolugbo, was saying to me, it doesn't work. They spent nothing less than 16 years. Uncle Yori, don't worry. I've told you the other time, I will invite you down to worry. You should be, I don't understand. It should be on that sheet. And it has been written that PDP don't do anything. I don't belong to any political party. But it shouldn't be. He as a commissioner, he was there. I knew him beforehand. Not that TVC is APC. All those people are saying all those ones that are rubbish.
But no. But in fairness, Mr. Okolugbo is saying everything you said is as is, but that they are apologizing.
Don't apologize. What are they apologizing for? Are they coming back? Uncle Yori, they will not come back. Let you understand. They will not come back till maybe after 2023. I'm telling you, we don't want PDP.
Well, you're not God.
APC came in under 3 years. See a lot of criticism. They spent 16 years. Nobody talk about them. I knew him very well. I knew him before he joined his work. See him now looking fresh. Go to all those every TV station I'll be talking. I'm calling from Wari. I'm calling from OTUKPO. Ask him very well. What is the impact of PDP in Delta State? We can't continue like this. You have to be compacted criticism. You just come to the air speaking during PDP. Can we come on the air and be talking like this? You don't come and be criticizing people. You come, if you have a basic solution, give it to them. We have to move on as a Nigerian. Kidnapping everywhere, killing everywhere. Is it today?
Yes.
Was it not as a commissioner? Ask him what Obodo has done in 8 years. Maybe you could tell me the Okowa that is there now, he claims the rubbish that the last administration left. Good morning, Uncle Yori. I'm not happy with it.
Thank you very much for calling in.
No,
wait, the program has ended. We've run out of time.
It will be unfair.
We've run out of time.
I was the only commissioner that commissioned 85 projects, and I stand to be corrected. I built a glass house that no commissioner has built in the history of Delta State.
Okay, fine.
Yes. So we worked, I did a lot of work. I changed lives. We impacted on the people.
I got to go.
10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. APC should rejig and do the writing. But I tell you this, PDP is not an option.
No, I don't know.
As a political party, it's not an option. They carry excess baggage.
We'll win in 2019. Strategically, you waited for the end. Man. He's a great man. We'll work with him in 2019.
With PDP.
We've got Barrister Ubani and we've got Mr. Ken Okolugbo. Thank you very much for also being part of the whole team. Join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.